If you're easily offended, you've come to the right place. Now on BBC4 cult 60s radio show Round the Horne Revisited.
In the late 1960s, there was a long-running series of a remarkable BBC radio show called Round the Horne. Cross-channel ferries would race back to get within transmission range, and 15 million people would tune in every Sunday lunchtime, wondering what on earth they'd say next.
Say, sir, you've got a mole on your neck.
Have I really?
Yes, you have. Go on, shoot, get out of it. Go on. They come in from the river, you know, sir.
Created by Barry Cooke and Marty Feldman, the final series starred Kenneth Horne, Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddock and Betty Marsden, plus a genuine BBC announcer, Douglas Smith, who had somehow or other become an integral part of the show. Between them, they created a set of classic characters, most of whom you'll meet again tonight.
Well, hello, me dearie-o. Tonight I shall have great pleasure, but first I'd like to sing you a few songs.
Hey, sport, here's your belly off a spot.
Oh, hello, I'm Julian. This is my friend Sandy.
The only other writers involved were Johnny Mortimer and Brian Cooke, who joined Barry when Marty left. The 66 shows were usually recorded in London on a Monday, when the cast would gather together and often see the script for the very first time.
Done much with yourself this week?
Well, had a few board meetings. Very bored, as a matter of fact. I fell asleep in one of them. I wake up, and they're all staring at me.
Oh, good.
Luckily, I had the presence of mind to say amen. Got away with it, too. What about you?
Oh, I'm still filming this Carry On thing. I was in bed with Joni Sims yesterday.
By Joe.
Lights, camera, action. She lets one off. Farts. Then I told her you'd be better off in a silent movie, I said. Well, I had to leap out of bed. I wouldn't mind, but she looks at me as if I'd done it.
Yes, it's an old Navajo trick.
Well, it's disgraceful. I mean, what can I do? There's no provenance in a fart, is there? Once it's out, it's ownerless.
Well, perhaps I should mention it on the show.
No, we never get away with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we intend to recreate an episode of the series with extracts taken from many scripts.
And so, without further ado, let us take you back in time to a basement recording studio, Lower Regent Street, London.
Scream as much as you like, my dear. No one will hear you in this dungeon.
Then why have you strapped me to this operating table?
Call it an old man's whim.
All right. Why have you strapped me to this old man's whim?
Because I have no scruples. You won't feel a thing, my dear. I just attach a wire here, a wire there, and then I turn this knob slowly, and this knob slowly, and...
This is the BBC Light programme. For those of you easily offended, you've come to the right place. It's Round the Horne. The story so far. The half-breed stranger rode into town, black guns on his hips, black saddle, black pump, black bicycle clips. He was heading for the Bucket of Blood Saloon and Heel Bar, keys cut within the hour. Inside, the whiskery drunken piano player jangled a tune on his cottage upright.
What side?
Suddenly, the saloon door swung open. The half-breed stranger stood there, blue eyes blazing, hands on his 6 guns, 5 of which were loaded. He spoke in the harsh guttural language of the Choctaws.
My name is Kenneth Horne. Hello, and welcome to the show. Now, that was Douglas Smith, who wants to get one thing straight, but he can't. First, some late-breaking news. Now, earlier this evening, a small fire broke out at the Albert Hall. The orchestra was evacuated. Fortunately, they were playing Schubert's Unfinished Symphony. So, it simply meant that they didn't finish it a little sooner than they normally would have. Now then, the results of last week's photo competition in which we asked you to guess who they belonged to. Well, as you might expect, the biggest one belonged to Sean Connery. The little tiny one belonged to Cliff Richard, and I must confess the one in the middle was mine. It was my father's originally, and it leaks a bit these days, but still. Now, next week we'll be asking you to identify the owners of 3 more motor cars. And now, it's time for What's Up in London with Gerald Monkshabit.
A busy week. Monday there'll be finger burgling and
mass goat pandering at the Royal Nobblers Institute, Clapham.
Wednesday there's an exhibition of gnome clenching in the Corset Department of Sparkslow and Towser. Friday there's chip fumbling in the Great Vat at St Paul's. Bring your own pyjamas. And Saturday, the 2-man inter-rabbi bobsleigh championships will be held on the up and down escalators in Leicester Square Tube.
That is, of course, weather and platform tickets permitting. Sunday AM, Wigmore Hall. Mrs. Ganderlip Whale Trouser will be giving a talk on the mating habits of the savage man-eating pygmies of South Norwood. And PM, the savage man-eating pygmies of South Norwood will be giving a talk on the mating habits of Mrs. Ganderlip
Whale Trouser. Not to be missed. Ciao.
Yes, ciao. And now we've reached that part of the programme that you've all been looking forward to.
That was Round the Horn, starring Kenneth Horne with Kenneth Williams.
Yes.
Well, that's the part I always look forward to, sir.
Sit down. I was referring to our Forum of the Air, in which listeners phone up, sometimes prematurely. And here's the first one now. Oh, it's for you, Betty.
Is it a man?
Yes.
Is he just breathing heavily over the phone?
Yes.
Not saying anything, just that infernal breathing.
Yes.
Oh, that'll be the butcher. Tell him half a pound of stew and steak and some liver for the cat.
Did you get that?
I'm not the butcher, you fool. It is I, J.P.'s my old grandfather. Yes.
Mr. Grandfather, good to hear your breath again.
Yes. Yeah, listen, I'm trying to get something up.
I
Yes.
see.
Yeah, and I'd like you to sign your name on it.
Well, that rather depends on what it is.
It's a petition complaining about what the medical profession has done to me. The BMA have dismembered me, Mr. Horne.
Good heavens.
Yes, they refuse to accept me as a member, despite the fact that I'm an MDQ.
Well, an MD is a doctor of medicine, and, I ask this with a degree of foreboding. What's the queue for?
It's waiting for my surgery to open. I usually hold it in my landlady's bathroom.
Oh, why is that?
Well, it's cleaner than the coal shed. I find the bathroom is an ideal place to have a practice. Yes, I can sit in comfort and practice the laying on of hands. Nice. Usually just the one hand as it goes. On the patient's forehead, yes.
Oh, I see. So it's a sort of fringe medicine.
Oh, it's very droll, yes.
Tell me, do you charge your patients?
No, not the ladies. I usually sidle up to them. Yes. Will you sign my petition? All I'm asking is a gesture.
And I'm giving you one, Mr. Grandfather. Goodbye. Another caller. Hello.
Oh, this is the National Branch of the Women's Institute. Congratulations, Mr. Horne. You have been voted Woman of the Year.
It's an honor. It really is a great honor, but, well, I'm afraid I'm not really eligible.
Oh, why ever not?
Well, if you remember, I was Woman of the Year last year. Next. No, wait. There's someone at the door.
Oh, hello, I'm Julian. This is my friend Sandy. Hey.
Oh, it's Mr. Horne. How
Wait a moment. You're not due on until page 20.
Well, no, but we was waiting out there in the VIP room.
The VIP room.
The one with all the mops and buckets
Yes.
in.
Oh, that VIP room.
We could hear your actual show on the intercom. We thought, well, there's something missing.
Like what?
Well, us mainly, so we thought we'd troll in.
We do have a running order.
Well, all right, then we'll run in.
No. Boner though it is to Varda your dolly old leaks.
He is. He's got all the Polari.
I must ask you to leave the studio, Smith.
Sir, now come along, gentlemen.
Hey, who's this? Who's the big butch me?
I warn you, I am a green belt. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, it means we can't build on you.
Out.
All right, keep your ryer on. Try and do a good turn.
FX door slams, cutting them off. What does that mean?
That's just a stage instruction.
Oh, thank heavens for that for a moment.
Now, where were we? Ah, yes, our forum. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Look, can you give me your name?
Oh, certainly. Elias Moose Blaster. Can you give me yours?
By all means, Kenneth Horne.
Thank you. Well, goodbye, Mr. Moose Blaster.
Goodbye, Mr. Horne. You know, it happens all the time. And now then, with her fair dinkum blackened by the sun of the Earl's Court Road, it's our Antipodean visitor, Miss Judy Coulabar.
G'day, sport. How's your belly off for spots?
Reasonably well off, I think.
Ripper. Now then, today I want to tell you about my new campaign to ban these filthy books.
Well, surely that's just the London Telephone Directory.
It's pornography. Men and women side by side on the same page. It's disgusting. Just look at it. Page 1. How to telephone a broad.
Yes.
And this? Instructions on how to look up your friends? No, it's shocking. Not to mention these names. I mean, Dunnett. Is that his real name, or is he just bragging? Here's another one. Dickie. Now, fellas with suggestive names like that ought to be made to change them. Don't you agree, Mr...
Moose Blaster. Elias Moose Blaster. Bit of luck that. Thank you, Miss Judy Coulabar. Smith, announce the next item.
Shan't.
What?
Shan't. Well, you promised I could do my bit first. You promised. Granny is listening specially.
Oh, don't give in to him. He's just trying to pad out his part. He's only an announcer. There's trained thespians standing by. Only had a spit and a cough. Look at poor old Hugh there, hanging about. He could have been putting his broccoli in. I've got the vocals here. I've got the timbre. I can reach the back of this enormous theatre with my timbre, given half a chance.
Yes, I did promise
He's not
him
got the
that-
voice, fat stock prices and traffic reports. That's all he's good for. I've done Shakespeare. My bottom.
Yes, I'm not sure we should talk about your...
6 impresarios wanted to transfer my bottom to the West End.
And what about the rest of you?
Smith, we'll give you exactly 20 seconds.
It's a disgrace. Ad-lib mumbles off.
Thank you, sir. As I walk down a country lane, I hear the birds a-twittering. Tweet, tweet, tweet. And look, here comes Rover the dog. Woof, woof. Hello, Rover.
Oh, for heaven's sake! Rubbish.
And yonder I spy Brock the badger. Oh, he's gone. Just as well, really. I can't do badgers. But see, there's Nellie the cow. Moo, moo.
And look, coming towards us, it's John, the producer, carrying your car.
Ah, yes. Well, I'd better announce our next guest. It's a man who's thrown off his trammels. He says they were binding him under the griblets. It's Rambling Sid Rumpo.
Hello, my dearios. Thank you very much indeed. Chirrup, chirrup, fox be away with the chicken and the warble fly beyond the turf.
Yes, well, what can you expect if you leave it out at night?
Well, since we last met, I've been where few men have been and seen what few men have seen. and got off with a £10 fine.
Ah, yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. Now, my song tonight is sung in the small Cotswold village of Linctus Peveril come gander-boggling time, which coincides with the spring equinox and the first nicking of the lead off the church roof. It is then that the young men of the village choose one of their number to be the gander man.
And I suppose there's some time-honoured method of choosing.
Oh, yes. They pick on the smallest one and hit him until he volunteers. Then they deck him in feathers and marmalade and hang about his neck the dingling iron, which dingles his grasset if he's not careful. He's then sent forth with the traditional phrase, "Go on, get off out of it," with a goose under one arm and a gander under the other.
Fascinating, he lied.
He then knocks on the front door of a young maiden of choice, and when she opens it, he says, "Oh, would you like a gander? Oh, would you like a gander? Oh, would you like a gander, my lissom young lass?" To which she generally replies, "No, I would not like a gander." So he gives her the goose. Well, we got there eventually. And off he capers down the street, boggling his gander with his dingling iron and singing this plaintive ditty. As I was going to Goosenatcher's Fair, singing loomers on me posset, I met a maiden trundle in her wares, foderie. Her bowels were blue and they jangled about till the grunge on my cord wangle ne'er fell out. Singing, Natcher Dooley Felix, singing, Riddle Jimmy Young. Kind sir, pray woggle my gimp if you can. Singing, loomers on me posset, for you I see are a free scrooping man. Foderie. So I woggled her gimp till a welkin rang, and as I woggled this tune I sang. Which is a good trick if you can do it.
Quite.
Airy, fairy, Peter, Paul and Mary, never ever wordle in the window. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Rambling Sid, of whom it has often been said. We're privileged to hear a short address from the Right Reverend the Archbishop of Tring.
Flat 9, 106 Old Compton Street. Ring twice and ask for Colette.
Ah, yes, it's always useful to know where one can find a good chiropodist. Smith.
Sir, it's time for our resident astrologer, a woman who'll peer into your very psyche unless you keep the key in the lock. It's Gypsy Rose Swansoiler.
Hello, dearie. Cross my palm with silver and I lift the veil.
Here's a pound. Keep it on.
Deal. Now, let's have a shufty at the Zodiac. Ah, yes. This week, Uranus has been in conjunction with the goat.
And people scoff at astrology.
And for Gemini women, you'll find your feet later in the week. They were in the airing cupboard all the time.
Now tell me, have you any further advice for me?
Well, you've got a lucky face. Compared to the rest of you, your heavenly twins are in the ascendant.
Good news at my age.
But always remember that childhood is hereditary. If your parents didn't have any children, chances are that you won't have any either.
You know, I'd never thought of it like that. Any message for the other signs?
Well, a giant meteorite will crash into Earth on Friday, destroying all flora, fauna, and mankind. But apart from that, a routine week. Good night.
Good night, and thank you. Now, the other night, I was fiddling with my 9-inch Bakelite bush when I came across an old black and white war film, the kind that makes you come over all nostalgic for Powdered Egg and Geraldo. It starred Dame Celia Mole Strangler and aging juvenile Binky Huckaback. Now, the scene that I caught was set in a wartime hospital.
The captain's in there, miss. Second bed along behind the screen. Don't stay too long. You'll tar him out.
Thank you, Doctor. Charles,
You've come, Fiona.
I had to come.
I knew you would.
I knew you knew I would.
I knew. I always knew. And yet, I was uncertain. Lip-bitingly, stomach-turningly, heart-flutteringly, eyebrow-raisingly, shoulder-shruggingly uncertain. But still, somehow, sure. And you, Fiona?
I was sure too. Cheek tremblingly, teeth grittedly, dog in the mangerly, utterly, utterly sure, and yet somehow uncertain. I know you know.
I know, you know, I know.
Yes, I know.
You see, that's the wonderful thing about us. It's all unspoken.
Are they looking after you in here, Charles?
Yes. Swelling's gone down.
Does it still hurt?
Only when you poke it with your umbrella like that. Fiona, can you keep a stiff upper?
Not as well as you can, Charles.
Try to be brave, old girl. Look.
Oh!
Not a pretty sight, is it? Fiona, I've asked them to remove it.
Why? Charles, why?
It's no good to me. I want them to take it away. I'd rather not have it at all than have it like this.
Oh.
With your help, I can manage without it.
Well, I'll do what I can, Charles.
Oh, it's cold, Fiona. It's cold. Do you understand? Do you want to say you understand?
I understand, Charles. There's nothing worse than a cold, hot water bottle.
And on that cheerful note, we'll move on to our version of a film that's recently been released, mainly through lack of evidence. Smith.
Sir, this week's film adaptation is a story of that sinful city of ancient times, the seat of a corrupt empire which wallowed in bacchanalian orgies and sadistic spectacle.
By Joe Frinton.
No, sir, ancient Rome.
Ah.
Hornographic Productions. In association with Senna Lollies, the laxative on a stick, proudly present Every Rome Should Have One.
I am a slave in ancient Rome. My name is Frigidius Maximus. The girls call me Frigid Maxi for short, but not for long. A slave's life is hard. I've been flogged more than once, and I'm about to be flogged again.
Oh, here we are, gents. Lot 22. A second-hand Londinium slave. In good nick. Hardly a mark on him. Now, I'm not going to ask for 50 denarii. I'm not even going to ask for 25 denarii. I'll tell you what I'll do. I won't bother wrapping him. No mucking about. There you are. As he comes, 5 denarii. Gent over there. Off you go, son.
He knocked me down to a Roman noble, and I sprawled at his feet. All that I could see were the rays of the setting sun gleaming on the strap of his sandal. Just a thong at twilight.
That line is Britain's official entry to the Montreux Festival's most contrived joke.
Get up, slave!
He tugged me to my feet by pulling on my chain. I flushed.
Now, come along, slave. Gird up your loins. I can't abide an ungirded loin.
I followed him to his home. His name was Glucosius Tabletus. He was a tribune, and his men would follow him anywhere, even if only out of morbid curiosity.
Now, slave, you will wait upon me hand and foot, and any other part of me that requires waiting upon.
It was a hard life. I was busy from the moment I sundialed on in the morning until I sundialed off at V. I used to clean out the stables with another young slave, but later on they gave me a broom, which made it easier. Then, one day, Glucosius sent for me.
I've been watching you, Frigidius, the way your muscles ripple and knot as you peel a grape. Seemingly without effort.
Oh, sir, it's just a knack.
Nice. I shall send you to gladiatorial school. There you will learn to fight with a broadsword, rip out the throat of a lion with your bare hands and crush an opponent's skull. And possibly a bit of flour ranging on the side.
I worked hard at lion fighting. I got extremely high marks. Yes, I got a few low ones too, but my toga covered those. Soon I was ready for the arena.
Well, it's a bright sunny day here at the Colosseum, and any moment now the games will start. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Mad Marcus for used chariots, the finest selection in Rome. Mad Marcus, just opposite the Forum. Get away, people. Go to Mad Marcus.
You'll be happy and gay along the Appian Way with a chariot from Mad Marcus.
Visit today. Remember, Tempus Fugit.
Thank you. Excitement is rising here at the Colosseum. And here comes the Emperor Nero. The crowd is rising. They're genuflating at him, but he's brushing it off. Beside him is his good lady wife, Popeye.
Popeye!
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, Nero, I'm so excited. When do the games start?
Later. We've got to watch this boring lot first. Seen one gladiator eaten by a lion, has seen them all. Myself, I'd sooner go home and fiddle.
No, so would I.
Meanwhile, down in the changing rooms below the arena, we gladiators were getting ready for combat.
Here, hold the net like this. Now, twirl the net around a bit like that.
Right.
Saves your hair getting mussed up. Now then, this is your first fight in it, son.
Oh, yes, but I've whetted the edge of my sword.
Yeah, well, it takes some of us that way.
5 minutes, amateurs and beginners, please.
It was the moment of truth. I strode out into the arena. And suddenly a fierce lion bounded across the sand.
At this point, it should be mentioned that I, Douglas Smith, play the lion. For the occasion, I'm wearing an old Davy Crockett hat and a set of Granny's teeth. I have been practicing my growling.
Don't not him again, he's only an announcer. Where's the servicing for us proper actors? I need the servicing. I rise when I'm serviced properly.
Oh, he does. I've seen it.
He's untrained. He's a news, your weather forecast, your 6 o'clock cock-offs, your...
Yes, I think so.
Your 6 o'clock kick-offs. Even Benny could do a lion better than him.
No, you are looking for a bunch of fives, you are, Williams. I don't have to put up with this. I'm currently co-starring in Bride of the Swamp Monster.
Oh, really? Who's playing the bride?
You swine.
Quiet, everybody. Now, where were we? Smith?
I was about to bound across the sand and growl, sir, and Granny was most insistent that her teeth should only be used by me.
A compelling argument. Stand aside, Williams. Growl away, Smith.
Sir.
Shouldn't be allowed. Exit ad-libbing more grambles.
Roar. Roar. Growl. Slaver. Snarl.
I raised my trident.
He's poised to kill the lion. He waits. Oh, Nero, put your thumb up.
Put your own thumb up. He fights bravely, this slave. I must have him for my guard. What do you want for him, Glucosius? Quick change of voice. What do you offer, O noble emperor? Back again. Now, stop messing about. I'll do you a swap. My set of cigarette cards are famous Festal versions and my Elgin marbles. How's that? Oh, very fair, sir. Done. See, that's your proper acting. That's your 10 years at RADA. Hear the timbre, feel the projection.
Yes, I'd rather not, thank you.
All right, please yourself.
And so I joined Nero's Praetorian Guard. The Emperor was a nervous man and would allow no weapons in his presence. So day and night I stood at his side with a drawn cucumber. Even during the regular Friday night orgy.
That is sizable. No, not there, no.
Yes. Ma!
A splendid affair where the fountains gushed with milk stout and cheese and onion crisps were piled high. You know, if nothing else, this gives us a clue to the writer's level of sophistication. Scantily clad maidens performed wild, sinuous dances. It was all I could do to keep my cucumber steady.
Frigidius.
I haven't touched a drop.
It is I, Poppaea. Tonight was made for love.
But I'm Nero's guard, madam. Love is a word that is forbidden to me.
Oh, very well. Tonight was made for politics. Come with me.
So I went, and all that night I politicked her. After all, when in Rome, eventually the gentle questing fingers of a new day spun their rosy magic across the sky.
Nice.
No, but it can't be done. No. It's only X to 1V. Look out of the window. Rome is ablaze!
Yes, Nero did it because I wanted to fiddle while Rome burned. Here I go then. I wrote this when I was sitting on the Synod. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yee-hey!
Grab your partner, spin her round. Rome is burning to the ground. Tuck up your toga, strum on your lyre. I've set the whole damn place on fire. My popularity is down to 0, but after this, I'll be a Nero.
Do it the Appian way.
Oi!
And so ends this week's film adaptation. Now, next week we'll be showing you a film of the Olympic trials in which our old friends, the freestyle, five-a-side, over-80s nude leapfrog team, were strongly fancied until one of them had to scratch at the last minute. Yeah.
I have trained my Legistrum vulgaris to hang over my neighbour's fence.
Yes, indeed. I believe that's privet.
It probably is, but I'm prepared to waive it.
I'd rather you didn't.
Oh, please yourself. But I've also been captivating some American beauties behind the potting shed.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and after several years of experimenting, I have developed a rather unusual strain.
Yes, it's off on the way.
Which I support with the aid of a bamboo stick.
Good to know. Thank you.
I haven't finished trees. I know all about you.
At which point he was cut off.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, he was. But you just can't get the sound effects men these days. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Horne. This is D.I. McKnacker from your local police station. You reported a briefcase missing. We've just had one handed in. I wonder if you'd care to describe the contents of your briefcase.
No, I wouldn't.
I didn't think you would. Then I'll describe them to you.
Oh, must you? I mean, we are on the air.
One inflatable rubber effigy and the likeness of the Vice President of the Milk Marketing Board.
Yes?
6 hand-tinted daguerreotypes of Charles de Gaulle doing the can-can with 3D viewers.
Yes.
1 shoulder-length wig. Striped in the colours of the national flag of Bechuanaland.
Yes.
1 packet of cheese sandwiches.
No, mine were ham and pickle. Sorry.
Well, that's the third briefcase this week that had the wrong filling in the sandwiches.
You stay out of this, Smith. Yes.
I know you, but you don't know me.
That's an arrangement that suits me perfectly.
I know where you were last Friday night. I have photographs of you with the feathers and an incriminating tape recording of you and the French loaf. I even have a piece of the salami as evidence. Yeah, I know all about you. And I shall tell what I know. I shall hound you remorselessly unless we can come to some financial arrangement.
But this is blackmail.
Call it what you like.
All right, this is ipecacuana, and ipecacuana is an ugly word.
Well, all right then, how about crepe de chine? That's prettier.
All right, this is crepe de chine, but you'll never get away with it. It clashes with your eyes.
Oh, does it? Does it, Mr. Clever Dick Horne? Well, unless the money is left in the usual place next Sunday morning, I shall knock to the rozzers.
Oh, don't worry. There'll be an extra 2 shillings in the plate, and thank you for calling, Vicar.
A pleasure.
You know, I really ought to get this number changed. Yes, a message has just come in. We understand that some listeners in the Hampton Wick area suffered from interference during the early part of this program. But then, well, that's just Hampton Wick for you. And now, a quick word from our radio doctor.
Do you have a bad memory? I can tell you a certain cure for it, but I won't. You'd only forget it.
Oh, how do they think them up? And why? I know, I got a flyer in the mail the other day. Group Captain Reggie Kite, DFC and bar. Very pleasant chap. We had a drink at his bar. And he told me about a new cookery school that had just opened up nearby. So I caught a passing music link and I went to have a look. A sign on the door said Bona School of Cookery. Gnocchi and mince. So I knocked and minced. Hello, is there anybody there?
Oh, hello, I'm Julian, this is my friend Sandy.
Oh, hello, it's Mr. Horne. How bonus of your Dolly Oldie again.
Thank you. I had no idea that you two were into cookery.
Well, it's Joel, really. He's the one who sorts out your actual me and you. I'm just his sous chef.
Ah, a boy named Sue. You know, I just couldn't resist that.
Should have tried harder.
Yes.
Tell him how you got started, Joel.
What, into cooking?
More else.
Oh, yeah, well, I suppose I was always into Fanny.
Oh, he was. That's the blessed Saint Fanny of the Craddocks. They're off the telly.
Yeah, well, and her books. Oh, I got all her books.
Oh, because the new Fanny about is like a man possessed.
Yes! I won't rest until I got my hands on it. I learned all the recipes.
Oh, he's a Svengali with a steak, Mr. Horne. Give him a bit of rolled topside or ramp. He'll do things to it, make your eyes stand out like organ stops. His steak and kidney pie is guaranteed to bring a smile to your eek.
What about fish?
Oh, he's a dab hand with dab. He's brill with brill. And as for his orange ruffy...
Oh, I do like a bit of ruffy.
Don't we all?
And that John Dory, plump, white and firm and so cheap. We can do anything with it.
I have no comment at this time.
Tell him about your signature dish, John. Go on, tell him.
No,
I don't like
tell
him, get it out in the open.
Oh,
nice.
all right then, well, I do my own version of coq au vin.
Really? He said carefully.
Yes. I have less cock, more vin, and I had crudities. Yes.
Oh, yes, he had crudities.
Yes.
It's absolutely boner.
Boner.
And as for his mince, Jules has done more with his mince than any man I know. He makes a fantabulous faggot.
Yes, I thought they might get mentioned eventually.
Do you know, I've done things with my faggots that no one else has ever attempted.
Oh, yes, and he's so fast. See him chop vegetables, talk about speed. His chopper's a blur within seconds.
Oh, thank you, Sand. It's all practice.
Little thin strips of peppers, carrots, courgettes, all mixed up together. I don't know what it's called.
Perhaps julienne of vegetables.
Oh,
He's bold, he is. Don't cheeky with it.
Then there's his pièce de résistance. That's your actual French for there's no use fighting it.
Yes.
No, it is. The soft, moist topping of his pièce saladière.
That's Olive's, isn't it?
No,
it's mine.
Neighbours come from yards around to have a butcher's at his pièce saladière, not to mention his upside-down tart.
Oh, you said you wouldn't mention her!
That's the Widow McGinty from the cat's meat shop.
Well, yes.
Right. Yes, I must say I do enjoy a dessert.
Oh, it shows, Ducky. But he's your Amy. He does miracles with puff pastry, and it's not easy. A fully risen rich fruit puff is a thing of beauty.
It's true, yes.
Tell me, do you do a Queen's pudding?
Not especially. Although my pineapple surprise is quite popular.
He makes it with rhubarb.
Well, that's the surprise! And my orange spotted dick has often caused a comment or two.
Oh, it has. But he can teach you all this and more, Mr. Horne. Put yourself in his hands and he'll mould you.
Yes.
I'm not sure. Tell me, have you had many students?
Well, how do you mean? Oh, the cookery course, yes. Just the 3 so far. There was Anthony.
Worrell.
Thompson.
Ah, now surely that's just one man.
You know, I thought they all looked alike.
And on that anachronistic, not to say baffling note, I signed up for their short course, 10 exciting things to do with a pilchard. Yes.
Sir, it's traditional at the BBC that when a series ends, nobody takes any notice at all. But this year, news filtered through and the controller decided to lay on a buffet.
And very good he looked too, flanked with truffles and with an apple in his mouth. Everybody connected with the show was invited, and it was indeed a glittering spectacle as the guests mingled in the marble splendour of Broadcasting House's most lavish and well-appointed washroom.
His Excellency Prince Sigmund the Unseemly and supposed sister.
Oh, how do you do?
Hello.
Lady Samantha Gore Witheringly and her fancy piece, Cyril Stoke Posture. Miss Judy Cooleybar and Cobbler.
That's Cobber, you drongo.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hello, sport. Well, you stay where you are. I don't want your hands wandering about like last week.
My hands didn't wander about last week.
I know. And I don't want them wandering about again this week. No, I'll get enough of that sort of thing since I became a bus conductress.
A bus conductress? How are you getting on?
The back of the bus, same as everybody else. That's a stupid question. No, the depot's the worst. All those male conductors with their machines and that long white thing dangling down at the front.
That's just the ticket.
Well, it might be just the ticket to you. Mate, it's disgusting. Now, yesterday, and you won't believe this, a drunk got on my bus, pushed 4pence in me hand and said, "How far can I go for this?" I crowded him with my cash bag and put him off.
Yes, I imagine you did.
No, off the bus.
Ah.
You know, he ran behind for 3 miles, calling and waving at me.
You'd caught his fancy?
No, caught his tie in my ticket machine.
And off she went, shoulders bowed by the chip on each one of them. And still the guests arrived.
The sovereign king of independent Peasmoldia, J. Peasmold Grumpfutter.
Independent Peasmoldia.
That is my kingdom, yes. It consists of railway sidings, oxen, as far up Buttermold Street as the pub. The Holy Peasmoldian Empire.
Holy?
Yes, it's wholly my idea. I'm fed up with paying taxes to England so they can give it all away to Wales. And his mother.
Ah, yes, so now you become a despot.
Well, don't go looking for it.
Of course not.
No, I heard the voices of sea. They spoke unto me saying, "Go forth, Gruntfuttock, my child, and claim your rightful kingdom." And P.S. while you're out, gets an ounce of rough shag in the paper. So I made this improvised crown I am wearing.
Yes, it's China, isn't it?
Yes, but I did remove the handle.
Oh.
And I went forth to the high street proclaiming myself king.
And how did people react?
Not very well, considering. One woman gave me a shilling. I made her a lady in waiting.
Waiting for what?
A shilling back, probably. Nah! Is that the caviar over there?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead, help yourself. Fill your crown. Who's next?
The Count of Monte Crick and the right unbelievable Letitia Fitzseldom. The Sultan of... the Sultan of Silesia and the late Mrs. Bandersnatch. Miss Daphne... I'm soaking these people in. Miss Daphne Whiteside with one of her classic recipes. I'm not doing that.
Hello.
Hello. Now, recently, we've discussed how to prepare frog's legs, a pig's knuckle, and, of course, pigeon toes. But today, we're going to tackle something a tiny bit bigger. I'm going to tell you about the many interesting things you can do with a yak.
Ah, yes. Well, what springs immediately to mind, of course, is yak à l'orange.
Oh, naturally.
It'd go rather well with last week's wildebeest fritters.
Well, as would yak kebab, a yak burger, and yak in its jacket. But my family's favourite is a simply scrumptious dessert. Coop yak. Now, first, pluck and bone your yak. Take an ordinary saucepan, the kind you'd broil a hippo in, and cook for a week.
Yes.
And now to cool. Then smother it with raspberry ice cream. Sprinkle it with a little grated coconut. 3 tons should be enough. And serve with a hip bath of custard.
Ah, yes. Well, some people would say that the coconut and ice cream might disguise the subtle flavour of the yak meat.
Oh, not at all. I mean, whenever I serve my hubby with this particular dish, his immediate reaction on tasting it is... Yuck! Now, next week I'll be telling you how to roast centipede with cranberry jelly. It's not as tasty as turkey, but everybody gets a leg.
And more guests arrive.
The Sheriff of Ashburton by the Sea and his sidekick, Sydney. The Right Dishonourable Dr. Chuen Ginsberg, M.A. failed, with his concubine.
Ah, good heavens. How long is it?
None of your business. So, we meet again, Mr. Horne. Oh, gold. And this time you will die the death of 1,000 cats.
Yes, rather like this script.
You're telling me, but before you die, a little entertainment.
Oh, don't tell me you're about to summon your concubine, Lotus Blossom.
Precisely, she who is like a stalk of ripened grain that sways as if the soft zephyr blows through a field of corn.
Yes, Garth.
Oh, it's been a bad harvest.
I stand before you in my first maidenly blush of humility, mate. Do you wish for tender love songs to issue forth from my rosebud lips? Or shall I just shake it about a bit?
I'd rather die if it's all the same to you.
Well, we shall meet again, Mr. Horne. Perhaps tomorrow, perhaps the next Wednesday matinee, and then you will die. Bye.
They went off in a huff. That's a small Japanese sports car. Now, the cabaret continued with a short piece from Dame Celia Mole Strangler and aging juvenile Binky Huckaback.
I can't bear it, Fiona. These last few fleeting moments before I leave for the front, parting is so bittersweet.
We've parted before, Charles. Many times.
But this time it's...
Many times.
Yes, but this time...
Many times.
Yes, but this time... It's different. And yet, somehow the same.
I feel for you, Charles.
I know. I feel you feeling for me.
Yes, and I feel that you feel me feeling for you. Oh, Charles, we've so much to remember.
Chestnuts roasting by an open fire. A cigarette that bears a lipstick's traces. Old MacDonald had a farm.
Yes, I remember. I recollect, recall, reminisce, recapture, retrace, and yet I forget. It's gone, Fiona.
Not gone.
Yes, lost and gone. And now I must be off, too.
Oh, Charles, must you? You look so handsome in that uniform.
Yes, I do, don't I? But I am needed at the front.
Goodbye, Charles.
Goodbye, Fiona. Fares, please. Come along, fares, please. Move down the front. Thank you.
Well, I think that's all the guests we have. No, wait. I see a couple of familiar eeks in the corner, lurking behind a potted palm.
Oh, hello, I'm Julian.
And I'm still his friend Sandy.
Yes, well, you two certainly seem to get around.
Well, basically, we're touting for business.
Is that right? He said with some trepidation.
Yes, here's one of our cards.
Boner Law.
That's us, we're lawyers.
Yeah, I've got my articles and he's took silk.
Frequently. If anyone slips on a drop vol of alt, we're in like a rat up a drain pipe.
We are, yes. We give them our card and we sue.
Have you slipped on anything recently that you shouldn't have?
Well, no, but funnily enough, I have heard.
Oh, we've all heard, Ducky.
Yes.
Common knowledge, isn't it, Jules?
Yes. Clapham Common mainly.
Yes, it is. Well, perhaps you could take my case.
Well, it depends on what it is. We got a criminal practice that takes up most of our time.
Yes, but apart from that, I do need legal advice.
Well, what exactly is it you've done?
Well, No, I don't like to say.
Oh, Heartface, you can tell us.
No, I don't like to.
We've handled the most extraordinary briefs.
We have, yes.
Nothing can shock us.
No, nothing.
Well, all right. Look, it's here on this charge sheet.
Well, less of a Varda, then...
Father, this I mean, no!
Well, it's written down, Sand. In broad daylight, too, outside Lion's Corner. Aren't you ashamed?
Yes, but it's only a parking offence.
Oh, it's very hot in parking. What do you think, Jules?
Well, I don't know. I'll have to look up me tort.
Shh! He's looking up his tort. Sometimes it takes him hours to find what he's looking for.
Yeah, well, he wants a mirror, doesn't he?
I found it! I have found it! I recommend we try the
Pervertium ad astra, pro forma actualis linctus moribundus amitus.
That's your actual Latin.
Yes, what does it mean?
I don't know. Got off a bottle of horse rub. Sounds good, doesn't it?
Oh, it does, Joe. Oh, let's defend him. I could do my speech for the defence. Do you want to hear it?
I can hardly contain myself.
That's your problem, Ducky.
Oh, go on, do your thing.
Oh, all right, then.
Oh, he's an eloquent little pleader, Mr. Old.
Yes, I can well believe it.
Well, here I go. Omies and parents of the jury, Father, well, the eke of the poor wretch who stands before you, his laddie is trembling. He has his share of guilt. We all do, we all have a bit. On the side, never in the field of human conflict has he stood a chance, forced to sell his teddy bear so his granny could buy teeth. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All say, can you see it is not him who is on trial, it is all of us.
All of us, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. There he stands, without hope, without love, without hair. Give him a chance to become a useful citizen again, a housewife, a mother, so he can look the world and he can get and say, is there honey still for tea? And above all, I name this ship HMS Ark Royal. God bless all who sail in her. Amen.
Oh, man, oh, bravo, Sand, bravo! Do you know he could have been a Queen's Counsel? Well, what do you think, Mr. Old?
I think I'll pay the fine.
Oh!
Well, they did defend me in the end, and I got off. They got 6 months. Now then, recently there's been a revival of apathy in the old music hall songs, and so our gathering was entertained by the Round the Horn Glee Club, which sang a song made famous by the legendary Ralphie Well-Butter-My-Toast Postlethwaite. It was, of course, the saga of Seamus O'Hagan's Pocheen, and it went something like this. I shall tell of a drink that was made in a sink and distilled from old kitchen waste, made of meths and black praties and rotten potatoes.
With a dish mop dissolved in for taste. It was brewed up by Seamus and made Seamus famous. A mouse drank a little one day, and quite losing control, it burst out of its hole.
Now the cat's in the family way.
Oh, sing us another verse, sing us another one too.
This woman, a Dubliner, whose kneecaps were troubling her, pint of the powerful stuff. She wasn't too pleased, though it did ease her needs.
For the following day they dropped all. It grew some new teeth in an old man from Leith, though it caused him to fret and to frown. For they weren't in his mouth, but a little bit south.
And he bit himself when he sat down.
Oh, sing us another verse, sing us another one too.
So if you're offered a swig at a hoolie or jig, then I warn you, you'd better be wary.
And here's my 2 penn'orth, sure as my name is Kenneth. Before I drank some, I was merry.
That was the final verse of a very old music hall song. Bum, bum.
Thank you. Yes, they broke the mold before they wrote that one. Now, we've just got time to give you the answer to last week's sporting question, which concerned the famous Surrey cricketer Albert Scrope. And the answer was 107 before he retired. And we understand he got the family allowance on all of them. Except for the first one, of course. Cheerio.
That was Round the Horn, starring Kenneth Horne with Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddock and Betty Marsden. The script was by Barry Tooke, Marty Feldman, Johnny Mortimer and Brian Cooke. The programme was produced by John Simmons.
Well, that went well. Good audience.
Oh, too many titterers. Give me a woofer every time. I like a good woofer or two.
You always did.
Cheeky cat. Do you see that woman in the middle row? The one with the nose?
Well, they all had noses, surely.
You know what I mean? Big woman, see-through blouse. Amazing, that 2 watermelons in cling film.
Oh, by Jove, I missed that.
You're just a bunch of dirty old men.
Well, I can't deny it.
Well, shame on you.
Well, it's all right for you. You've got your own gazonkers.
Yeah, it's all a bit of bread and bread to you, but we men, we like an ogle, and ogle's second nature to us.
Well, how would you like it if I started on about that handsome fellow in the front row?
What, the one with the tash, green sports coat, white shirt, hairy chest, brown tousled loafers and tweed socks?
Yes.
Can't say I noticed him.
There's one thing I have noticed. The microphones are still on.
What? Oh, cool.
And you can listen to the original radio episodes of Round the Horn on BBC Audio. More comedy on the way on BBC4. A frozen banana empire in trouble as eccentricity reaches a whole new level in Arrested Development. Next.
For the sake of your own happiness, I call upon you to march with me. with me.
It's going to be nice, healthy, dirty fun.
March with me.
I thought it was supposed to be very sophisticated.
Plus, psychological content.
March with me. March with me.
This is about you.
Surprise them! Blimey!
March with me. Under the banner of freedom.
What did the Prime Minister actually say to you?
He actually said this is exactly the kind of thing we should be doing.
What did he actually say?
He said this is exactly the sort of thing we should be doing.
Should be doing. Should does not mean yes.
The Thick of It, new comedy next Thursday at 10:30 on BBC 4. To find out how you can get BBC 4, call 08700 10 10 10.
Shut up.
Family assets frozen, along with the bananas, now on BBC 4, in the pilot episode of Emmy award-winning comedy Arrested Development.
This is Michael Bluth. For 10 years, he's worked for his father's company, waiting to be made a partner. And right now, he's happy. This is Michael's mother.
Look what they've done, Michael.
She isn't happy.
Look what the homosexuals have done to me.
You can't just calm that out and reset it?
Currently, she's upset that her husband's retirement party is being upstaged by a group of gay protesters.
We want to get back to Boston. Everything they do is so dramatic and flamboyant. It just makes me want to set myself on fire.
Good grief, Mother. Not all homosexuals are flamboyant. Oh my God, I have the exact same blouse.
This is Michael's twin sister, Lindsay.
I like it better on him.
As a youthful act of defiance, Lindsay married this man. They moved to Boston, where they've become celebrated for their wine and cheese fundraisers.
Oh, no, I'm completely stuffed.
Michael and his sister haven't spoken in a year. Neither has acknowledged this. And this is Job, Michael's oldest brother.
So, this is the magic trick, huh?
Illusion, Michael. Trick is something a whore does for money. Or can be.
Job recently started the Alliance of Magicians, an organization that blackballs any performer who reveals a magician's secret. And finally, there's Buster.
Hey, Buster!
The youngest of Michael's siblings.
You know, you don't need to do that, buddy. It's okay.
Thanks to the family's largesse, Buster has studied everything from Native American tribal ceremonies to cartography, the mapping of uncharted territories.
Hasn't everything already sort of been discovered, though, by, like, Magellan and Cortez?
Oh, yeah.
All those folks.
Those guys did a pretty good job.
Right.
But they're still, you know.
He also suffers from crippling panic attacks. Yes, this is his family. So why is Michael so happy?